For thousands of years, the people of Westeros have believed a single, comforting story. They believe that Bran the Builder, a legendary human hero, constructed the massive wall of ice in the north to protect the realm of men from the terrifying White Walkers. It is the foundation of their history. But what if this entire story is a complete lie? When you stop and think about it, the official history of the wall makes absolutely no sense. The wall is over 700 feet tall and stretches for 300 miles. Humans build with stone and steel. They don't build with ice. In fact, if humans wanted to build a barrier against monsters made of cold and ice, why would they build it out of the very element that gives those monsters their power? A chilling theory in the A Song of Ice and Fire lore suggests that the wall was not built by humans to keep the White Walkers out. It was built by the White Walkers themselves, using their own ancient ice magic. The wall wasn't designed as a shield. It was designed as a border, a permanent boundary between two species. Legend says the long night ended when the first men defeated the White Walkers in a massive battle. But the theory argues that the long night didn't end with a victory, it ended with a treaty. The humans and the White Walkers realized they could not destroy each other. So, they made a pact, a dark agreement to divide the world. As part of this treaty, the White Walkers retreated to the far north, the lands of always winter. To ensure the humans would never encroach on their territory again, the White Walkers used their magic to raise the wall. It was a physical manifestation of their power, a warning to the realms of men, do not cross this line. If this is true, then the true purpose of the Night's Watch has been completely misunderstood for centuries. They were not formed to be a noble army defending the realm from an invasion. They were essentially border guards, created to enforce the treaty. Their real job was to make sure that humans, the wildlings and the kneeling men, did not cross over and break the pact. This explains why the Night's Watch is sworn to take no part in the wars of the realm. Their oath is older than the kingdoms themselves. It is a vow to remain neutral, to serve only the ancient pact. Over thousands of years, the true meaning of the treaty was forgotten, and the border guards became glorified prison wardens. But what happens when a treaty is forgotten? People start breaking the rules. For centuries, wildlings have been living beyond the wall, encroaching on White Walker territory. And the Night's Watch has been launching ranging missions deep into the haunted forest. To the White Walkers, these actions were acts of war. The humans were breaking the ancient pact. There is one character who seems to understand this ancient magic: Craster. Craster lives peacefully beyond the wall because he offers his newborn sons as a sacrifice to the White Walkers. This isn't just a horrific act of survival, it is likely a remnant of the original pact. He is paying the ancient tax that the rest of humanity has forgotten. When the White Walkers return in Game of Thrones, they aren't invading out of random malice, they are returning because the treaty has been shattered. The realms of men have grown too bold, forgetting the magic and the terror that forced them into submission thousands of years ago. The White Walkers are coming to reclaim their land. This theory adds a tragic layer to the entire conflict. The wars, the deaths, and the ultimate destruction of the wall weren't the result of a sudden monster invasion. It was the devastating consequence of humanity forgetting its own history. They built castles and played the Game of Thrones, ignoring the ancient gods of ice waiting in the dark. The wall wasn't a monument to human strength, it was a monument to human surrender. The greatest lie in Westeros was convincing themselves they had won the war, when in reality, they had only negotiated a ceasefire. Thanks for watching. If this theory blew your mind, hit subscribe. Let us know. Do you believe the White Walkers built the wall?